Okay. Uh, yeah, welcome to session 4 of Halcyon City. Sorry, Masks, Halcyon by Gaslight. I know what game we're playing. Um, we've got a new character, Esther, the Reformed, with powers of vitality, absorption, and transmission. Yeah. Very consumptive look going for her. Nice. Nice and dark backstory that can come out as we go. Um, So we left off with the group having a bit of a confrontation down at Coney Island, where you ran into the thief Magpie, who was working for Crow's Mantle's evil Uncle Thaddeus. And I think, after you've defeated her, very nearly caught Uncle Thaddeus before he escaped again, uh, it's been a couple days. Um, do you have anything in particular you've been doing since then? What are you like spending your non-crisis time on?
So Crow's Mental's definitely obsessively looking through those, you know, diagrams we were able to pull from Thad's lair.
Makes sense. Looking for anything in particular?
Any leads as to where he will strike next?
Because, yeah, the team found out he's trying to do some sort of big, powerful spell on the city, and he just needs a power source. And so far, they've managed to keep him away from the ones so far. What about?
Just sorry, just out of character check. Those are different from uh, the bird ones, right? The wing diagrams that I got from
Yeah,
Magpie.
Provencia got the wing diagrams from Magpie, which are indeed different from whatever I was recovering from Uncle Thad's room in the elephant.
Yes, that's right.
In that case, what Provencia's been doing is studying the bird diagrams, and I would like to think that even though I haven't written in the sheet, I do have now the advancement Come On Lucky, which I am applying to my questionably clear macaw lobster, who is a pre-existing character in the game, sort of, to help me look through these. And I'm trying to figure out a way. If Gideon's coming apart into birds, and this thing uses the biology of birds and mechanics to keep things together, to figure out if I can. Oh yeah, I've always wanted to take Nova powers. Anyway,
Just Toast-based Nova.
yeah, that there may be a future game. That anyway. Trying to figure out if there's some way to apply similar science to Gideon to keep his birds stuck together into a person, a sort of mechanical bird person, if we cannot stop his turning into a flock of birds fast enough. And I do have also, I don't know if any of these moves come into play, and also my computer is not scrolling, which is making me want to. But the scientific insight of biology. So if at some point it's possible for me to assess the situation while studying these papers, I might ask some questions as to how that could be applied to Gideon's situation. But otherwise, that is what we're doing. We're staying up all night with hot chocolate and a very fancy teacup full of water for lobster, studying and trying to save Gideon.
Nice. So Jackrabbit, what's your home life like?
Oh man, that's something I'm really need to think about. uh, I feel like. Could you go on to someone else and I'll think about this. I just need a second.
Absolutely. Squall? I mean, if nothing else, I'm pretty sure Black Moth has had some words for you.
Yeah, we might get into that or not. I think Black Moth's torn between, not Black Moth, Squall's torn between two things. In between, visual day to day. Oh, I should mention that she kind of works as an intern for the local paper, the Halcyon Herald. She lives with the top reporter of that paper. Is I think, oh yeah, and her backstory, she is absolutely a small town girl living in a lonely world that took the midnight train going anywhere and ended up in Halcyon City. Yeah, she's torn between two things. One is to like check up on her team because there were some emotional words that were tossed between each other, specifically between Crow's Mantle and Jackrabbit. So that's one of her one of her impulses. The other impulse is to like check up on this other kind of like plot thread that's been brewing, which involves a bunch of like heroes turning to villainy that's been popping up in the past couple of weeks or so, and that might involve talking to someone who used to be a villain, seeing what Esther's been up to. Either way, both of those impulses kind of involve not having to hear what Black Moth has to say at the moment, because that's going to be awkward.
Sounds like you're avoiding her a bit.
A bit, yeah.
Fair enough. And let's go to Esther, if you don't mind. What is Esther's home like? Like, are your parents around? Are you living by yourself?
I am living in a woman's boarding house. And
Nice.
it is just a step up from a tenement, but it is there's some security for young women who are unmarried to live in this particular place. And it's run by a house mother, and there's probably 15, 16 young women who are employed as shop clerks or secretaries or nurses and are not yet married with children.
Sounds good. And there's a request in the chat that we retcon you in to say you were always, connected to the team somehow. So the team first came together when they were fighting a big mechanical spider called Steel Web. And the Reform's question about that is, let me pull up that right now. Yeah, you thought that the Steel Web was somehow related to your old life, not old wife. I can speak.
And we'd kind of said that we would many details are fuzzy about that fight, but we'd said that the spider seemed to be connected to a number of the city's villains, right? So we can definitely draw in whatever else we need there.
And how was the spider powered?
I believe we said that it was drawing some energy from a big Breventia's doom. Her big mistake is a cosmic phenomenon that looks kind of like the Northern Lights, but is way too far south.
Cool.
And somehow the spider was drawing energy from that.
Okay. Well, I can only say that perhaps I was instrumental in designing the tool that pulled the energy in.
That sounds great.
Such a dark past.
Yeah, hey, it paid the bills.
Jackrabbit, are you ready to go, or would you like a little more time?
No, I'm ready to go. I was kind of thinking I think that after thinking through the various potentials of bad past to come from, I'm just no, I think that ironically Jackrabbit's parents are just completely respectable. Jackrabbit's being a kind of a fuck up is entirely on him. Yeah, they have a shop in town. I think that New York has maintained some Iroquois population ever since the Iroquois Confederacy seized most of upstate New York. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, and yeah, and I think he has like 5 younger siblings.
Nice. I bet your parents are, trying to urge you to be a better role model to them.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Sounds
stop
good.
trying to like bench press them all at once.
Yep. Cool.
Well, I think we can probably start off at your parents' shop where you're, probably helping out or something for the moment.
Helping out.
Yeah, like I can lift a whole lot, but I'm also not super careful. So like I'm probably just like carrying this massive pile of stuff with things just kind of falling off the side. But I'm moving it.
Um, Sounds good. And I think, yeah, you're. Um so just checking the chat. While you're moving things around in your own very, very careful way, I think you're going to hear your
Look,
mom.
can toss it between hand and hand.
You're going to be hearing your parents kind of grumble about the trouble they've had with the new electric lighting they had installed pretty recently. Lots of grumbling on that account. You've been hearing a lot of that lately because there have been, lots of rolling blackouts, energy problems in general. And, the electric lighting is pretty new to the city, along with the beginnings, the first few trolley cars pulled by electrically powered trolleys and not just primitive omnibuses or horses. And there's just lots of talk about that, and there's people are saying, oh, they're finally going to bring down the power lines bringing energy down from the Hoover Dam. Sorry, not the Hoover Dam, the Niagara Falls Dam. I know
Mhm.
not all bodies of water are the same. That's supposed to finally come through and actually fix things for good for the city, but there's been talk of that for years. It's just been plagued with trouble.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if something's wrong with the electrics, I'm sure I can help out with that. And I hop up, take a look at them. I'm very good at covering up my superhero identity. Very good. Like
Just
my
as
parents know. I'm not like it's not a secret from them. I'm too dumb to keep that a secret.
they know, but I don't think they particularly trust your powers either. So just as you're hopping up like that, I think, yeah, your mom is like, no, 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 don't. I don't know. It's fine. We can cope. We don't need your help with this. Just go back to
No,
moving
I
the
got it.
heading.
I got it.
Okay.
I assume this is probably like assess the situation, if it's anything. Otherwise, I just probably fuck up, break something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Or maybe unleash your powers. What are you trying to do exactly?
Trying to see if they're like what the problem with these. But yeah, if I was unleashing my powers, I'd probably just be like smashing things together and seeing if it works, which ironically might actually work because my freak is super high. But no, I think I'm maybe assessing the situation because I'm trying to figure out what's going on here with the electrics.
Okay. Go ahead and roll plus superior.
Okay. Okay. Let me
Oh,
just.
thank you for posting the link. And if roll for your party is acting oddly tonight, we can switch to another dice roller service.
Yeah, and that is a 4.
Okay. In that case, just you hop up and are just touching and trying to figure out what things are what's going on exactly. At that precise moment, all of the very newly installed lights out on the street that everyone was so proud about immediately just burst. Like all the lights go out, big crackles of electricity run down the lines, and your parents just simultaneous sigh and head palm.
Look, I didn't touch anything. I was just jumping.
Gotta say, in the face
And
of that,
everything else, all down the block, it all broke too. You saw that.
they're not angry; they're just disappointed. And in the face of that, do you think Jack Rabbit would take a condition, or does he not? Is he not quite that invested in what they say?
Yeah, I could take a condition. Do you think they're also in their disappointment telling me who I am?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're telling you, like, look, Jack Rabbit, this is. I know that you want to go out and make a difference, but you don't understand things as well as you think you are. You should just try to be a regular kid. And they're trying to lower your superior and raise your mundane.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
Nice.
And I do still say, completely missing their point, going like, man, this is almost as hard as that time I had to fight the beast for 3 days and 3 nights. Completely missing their point.
So I think we can end the scene there and cut over to Crow's Mantle. So Crow's Mantle, do you think your uncle would have wired his manor with electricity, or would he just not have bothered with that newfangled stuff?
It's all gas. It's all gaslight.
But it's in a nice neighborhood, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's electrical things nearby.
Okay. And anyone? Oh, Pearl, I think you have your hand up.
Do I?
I think so. You might have just hit the button by mistake. Does anyone else see that?
I'm not saying it.
Oh, okay.
No, not at the moment.
I
not
must
see it.
have. Okay, I might have clicked something by mistake. Okay.
I'm on the iPad version and it doesn't actually have the hand up option. So if I do, you can probably ignore it at any point during the game because it wouldn't have been me.
All right. Sorry, my cat was over by the keyboard earlier. I think she might have bumped something. So yes, Crow's Mantle. I think. Would you have anyone over? I mean, you've had a pretty tense conversation, last time. Would you have anyone over to your sanctuary, as it were, to talk about Uncle Thad and what have you?
Good question. Not Jack Rabbit, because Jack Rabbit is a liar. I would.
It was only like 50% a lie.
I would definitely be willing to have Squall over to the sanctuary if she's not too busy talking to Black Moth.
Sure, why would you have the person who's working tirelessly to solve your doom when you could have Squall? That makes perfect sense.
What do you think? Does that sound good, Squall? Or
Yeah, I'm wondering if Squall will come, a bit more interesting for Gideon to think Squall is coming, but it's actually Preventia because Squall's busy.
that could be it.
I'm totally up for that.
Yeah, you put out the call to Squall, and Preventia shows up.
Just ringing the doorbell.
Do I show up because Squall has called or toasted me and said hey, I got a message from, or like with a picture of Gideon's house, I guess, because the toast isn't that complicated.
Yeah, I
could
think, yeah, I think that is what it is. I think like when Gideon sends like the toast message to Squall, it's kind of like she's in the middle of other stuff. I think she got, let's see, she's on her car. Oh yeah, she has a car. I think she was on her way to like where the hell Esther is, or at least got caught up, I don't know, beating up mooks or something. So she is semi legit busy. So I think she sends the she it forwards the message to Prevencia.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, so Crow's Mantle opens the door and it's like, Squall, thank good. Oh, Prevencia.
I got the toast.
What's happening?
Come inside, I suppose.
Thank you. Lovely place you have here.
It's kind of cursed. I've been poking through what we found inside the elephant, and well, I was hoping for a little help. I need to figure out where my uncle's going to strike next, so I can stop him before my time is up.
You've toasted the right person, then. Figuring things out is my specialty.
True. Yes, please take a look, and if you see where like he's got the wall of crazy set up, where he's just kind of like really not caring about the fancy old wallpaper in this place. Like it there's just like things like written directly onto the wall, and like things like tacked right up onto the wall with like he's grabbed like weird ritual daggers his uncle had lying around and just jabbed them through the bits of paper to try and start making sense of the scraps that were left over in his uncle's old hideout.
Revencia finds that very charming. Similar to how she might do things.
So I have to ask, Revencia, is your main priority here really trying to help Crow's Mantle with this quest, or help him, cope with the very real possibility he's just going to become a bunch of crows?
I mean, my overall thing is to try to stop him from becoming crows and to help him cope if he does. But if he's asking for help with this other situation, I will divert my focus in the moment. I am assuming, obviously, that he called me first because he knew that I would be the person with the intellect to figure this out, so I would not want to let him down. So let's see, what's on your board of crazy that I could, apply my intellect to?
Bits of documents in arcane sigils and whatnot that we pulled from what was left over at Uncle Thad's kind of hastily vacated hideout.
Well, it's a good thing I'm a tactical genius, because I might be able to find out the flaw in our foe's plan. Possibly. Depending on how this roll goes. I need to try.
If you can tell me the Achilles heel of Uncle Thaddeus, then maybe we can save this city from his dastardly machinations.
Let us see. There are a bunch of multicolored dice on the page that I'm seeing, so I'm just going to pick the purple ones, because I don't know whose are whose, and none of them seem to be labeled. Is that all right?
I've previously been rolling the purple ones, but you can...
Oh, I can roll different... They're all just scattered about haphazardly on my screen.
Roll whatever you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay. They just disappeared. And no toast has shown up, so I'm really at a loss. I can roll a different set?
Just roll the two red ones, I think.
Okay. If they disappear, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. They didn't change. Maybe I should refresh the room.
It looks like I see a 5 on my end.
Oh, I don't. I see the same 4 and 1 that were on the dice when I went to roll them. They didn't even make the little rolly animation.
Huh.
So I think my computer is maybe lagging, and I should refresh the page.
Sounds good.
I will now roll them again and hope that the purple ones are still gone. I'm sorry. But I'll roll the red ones again. Well, that was terrible.
Okay, yeah. That looks like a 4.
So
So-
3, I think. Oh, a 4 with the die, with the superior or whatever. But
So yeah, on a miss, does that have have a specific miss
It
condition?
does.
yeah, I've
I'm
played into
afraid.
the enemy's hands, and I have to watch the trap spring. Better me than Gideon, so I'm glad that I'm the one who missed it. I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure the trap will affect both of us.
I'm sure
You're,
it will too, but hopefully more me, since I rolled. I would feel so bad.
you're looking over the plans and thinking about how Uncle Thad really needs some kind of new energy source, and it just occurs to you they are bringing in that new power connection down from the Niagara Falls hydroelectric dam. That must be you need to go to that where they're connecting that into the city line main power grid. That's got to be where he'll strike next.
I do think that. And we'll go down there, but I'm not going to tell Crow's Mantle because I think it would be dangerous of him to be near his uncle. So I'm going to go alone.
So what is it? What do you think? Can you make heads or tails of this, Provencia?
Well, I have some thoughts, but I need to take some time to think those thoughts, and then I will report them back to you. But I'm glad you called upon me, and I'm glad you showed me this excellent wall of insight.
What?
I would never call it a wall of crazy. I will return, hopefully.
What's the rush?
Well, I think better between the hours of now and 20 minutes from now. So it's essential that I go to my thinking spot.
So as Provencia is trying to head toward the door, Crow's Mantle turns entirely into crows, flies around
No!
her, and then is standing in front of the door, blocking the way, saying, "There's something you're not telling me."
And I think you're trying to pierce her mask. Go ahead and roll plus mundane.
That is what I'm trying to do. All right. 2 new purple dice coming right up. So that's an 8 on the dice, and my mundane is 2 for some reason. So I get a couple questions. Yeah, I'd like
How
to
are
know.
you better at being mundane than I am at being smart? You're doomed, and I'm a brain.
It's a paradoxical place our labels have landed. I would like to know what are you really planning? What do you intend to do? And how could I get your character to be honest with me?
Suppose you should do those out of order and start with how can you get your character to be honest with me. If you express that you actually trust and value Provencia's judgment, she will feel too guilty to lie to you. Thus far, she has gotten an intuition that perhaps she was not the one that you called on to be here and has just been being polite. But if you make it feel like you actually value her, she will be honest with you. That's the answer to question
Yeah, no, I
3/1.
that's extremely legit. Yeah, I think Crow's Mantle's looking at Provencia and says, "Look, to be honest, I tried getting Squall to come here first, but it looked like over there you put something together that I'm not sure I would figure out if I stared at that wall for a million years. You've got a unique mind, Provencia, and I hope you'll help me."
You could have just asked in the first place. I spend a lot of my time trying to figure out how to help you, but you never notice, which is fine. That's not why I'm doing it. But
Anyway, fine. I'll suppose I'll. Well, what were your other two questions? It was like, what am I intending to do, and one other thing.
Yeah.
What was the third one specifically?
What do you intend to do? What are you really planning? And you can roll those together. It's just that mechanically the move gives me 3 questions, but I really just want to know what Revencia's kind of plan here is.
Okay. Look, Gideon, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit worried that you're going to end up turning into a bunch of birds.
I'm a little bit worried about that too.
And that we're not, as a team, focused enough on preventing that specific outcome. So I've been spending a great deal of my time studying things to try to figure out how to prevent it. And one thing I do think is that keeping you away from your uncle is probably a good part of preventing that doom. And I do think I figured out a possible place that your uncle might be going to find some power. And I'd like to go check it out, and I don't think you should come with me because I think it's too dangerous.
It's too dangerous for you to go up against him without me.
But you what if he birdifies you?
That's already what happened, and I hold up my hand with like the ring stuck on it. That's what's happening in slow motion as we speak.
And what if it non-slow motions? I care about you. I don't want you to be a flock of birds. I mean, I like birds, but I just, maybe not getting you near the source of the thing that made you start turning into birds is sensible.
Okay.
And I think just as you say that, all of the lights on the street just burst at once as like electricity ripples through the power lines.
I wonder why. That doesn't seem like a good sign.
Good heavens.
Look, I'll toast you. I'll toast you, if I think it's safe. But I have to go.
If you're in danger at all, toast me and I'll be there, okay?
Okay, I will. But until then, stay here, please.
And as that scene closes, I think we can cut to Squall, and I think you said you wanted to speak with Esther about something? Was that right?
Yeah. There's just like there's been a rash of heroes turning to villainy for some reason. I thought I'd try to get Esther's insight on that. So where would I find Esther beyond that boarding house?
Yeah, I would be at a small coffee, tea, chocolate house that is on the same street, and we could meet there.
Yeah, I'm wondering, because I think Squall's kept a secret identity to everyone else. I wonder if she just shows up in her superhero guise, or just no. Yeah, actually not. Sorry, I'm trying to
Yeah,
make up
you
my
decide. That
mind. Yeah,
I have
I'm
no
fine with
secret identity.
yeah. So do people know you as someone who did terrible things?
Oh
Generally?
yes, I've been tossed out of my home, family, and so I am shunned by most. So I have a whole corner of this tea shop to myself.
Okay, so I think Squall will show up in her superhero guise then, as if kind of like an implicit Esther can be trusted. I'm having coffee with her, sort of
Oh,
gesture.
and I think that everyone who knows me and talks to me believes that I am trying to redemption. I'm trying for to make up for all that I have done. I'm trying to not only do good now, but do good in great quantity. to make up for the past. So those that know that.
Cool. I think probably Esther is there first, and Squall just kind of like comes in. Describe her superhero outfit is fairly simple. It's whatever the hell Saoirse Ronan was wearing at the very end of Little Women, except with a bowler hat and a mask. And I think she just kind of like comes in and is just, hey
Good
Esther.
afternoon, Squall. May I order you a tea?
Well, if if you're offering, I would be sure. Shouldn't we say no to that? Would I? Sure. Yes. Of course. Go ahead. And she puts on the bowler hat and just looks really tired.
What seems to be the trouble?
Oh well, too many fires and too many pans. At the moment, we have Crow's Mantle's uncle. We have all this nonsense with the Pinkertons. We have, geez, listen up. We have more nonsense with some magic runes. Uh, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a flying train that's going to crash into the city in the next couple hours, and we're going to have to deal with that. and and our house has had to be rewired lately, and it's making things tense, I'd say.
Yes, it sure sounds like a terrible time. Here's your tea. And I have, of course, gloves and everything, and I offer you the tea. May I pour?
I think Scarlet lets you like pour, and I think as you're pouring, she just asks like, "Well, I have enough woes to color the skies. I'm sure you don't want to hear all of that about that."
Oh, do tell. I am looking for opportunities to help. If you think of some way that I can be of service or aid in some of these woes, please let me know.
I think like Squall like as soon as you're done pouring, she'll take the teacup and just take a sip, and sure, it looks a bit more relaxed. Well, like I said, there's been quite a number of new would-be villains in town who used to be heroes, and I I wouldn't ask you to like go back to the connections you had to see if there's anything there lightly. Uh, I only ask you to do this if this was really important. And
Oh,
you feel free to say no. If you don't want to go back to that, or at least have anything to do with folks like that, that's perfectly fine.
oh, I'm sure I'm as welcome in those circles now as I was years ago. I'm not well liked by any of them, but I'm sure that I could get some answers if I asked the right questions. So, give me a few names of those that you're worried have fallen.
Hmm. I think. Let's see. I'm trying to remember, like looking at our list of characters. I think. I think this is some sort of role, but I will have to ask like Kyle for like some names of like who could be.
Yeah, I don't
Perfect.
know any, but we can just say you give me some. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
I know you've been worried about Aegis. I think you've been investigating them a bit. Like, are you interested in them in particular, or just heroes in general?
Probably like Aegis. Will mention. Oh yeah. Andrea Aegis in this continuity are Pinkertons. Uh, just fun.
I feel like
Yeah.
Night Watch is the main one there. We want to, get more intel on.
Yeah, I think she mentions like Nightwatch, who's kind of like the braggadocious hero of Aegis, who's scooping up all all the acclaim that's meant to be for us.
And can we
Um,
trust Sure Shot really? Because Sure Shot turned up at our base, giving us a mission last time around, but that sort of turned out to be a trap. So like, what's her agenda?
yeah,
So I have to ask you, Squall, what do you think is causing some of these, shall we say, those of noble heart and deed to turn against the city, to turn against its people?
it's hard to say, but from what I've seen of the cases we went up against, it's a lack of easy answers. I think she says that, and then she's just struck by the weirdly philosophical bent. It's like, okay, no,
So,
that sounds really dumb.
okay, is it money? Is it power? Is it an offer that they cannot refuse? Is it fear?
I think it's a good mixture of all of that, but I think it's primarily like filling a lack. Crowsman had vision that Buster, who used to be heroic, fell on hard times and got pressured into robbing a department store. And Crucible, the latest case, they were just frustrated, and I think they were pushed into a direction that would have harmed people. I think someone's trying to fill in gaps, lacks in other heroes, and it's working. It's working really well.
Go ahead.
And I think as you're saying, just as you're saying, it's working really well. Yeah, again, the streetlights burst as
Mhm.
electricity ripples down the line.
This is not working. The city is this new electrical power, it's not stable enough for us to rely upon. I do not understand why we are putting it everywhere before it's fully tested. Something is causing these surges. I am concerned that it is related to some of our concerns for the city as well.
Yeah,
I will
that's
go and visit a friend from my former life. I will make some inquiries and I will ask if there is if there's any way that I can get some knowledge to help us.
I think you say that, and like Squall just looks really relieved, and I think she's just seriously just says, "I'm, I'm sorry I had to like ask you to go back to them, but really, any help you can give, I'd be really grateful for. It's I think I kind of want to trigger a team move. I want to share a vulnerability, a weakness to Esther.
Go ahead, yeah.
Um, so the protege's team move is when you share vulnerability or weakness with someone, tell them a secret about your mentor, including your feelings towards them. And I think I think she says, I'm glad you can help. Black Moth doesn't seem to think any of you can. Uh, I think Jake Squall leans forward. She's asked me to cut all of you loose. And I don't know how to feel about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not saying this to make it seem like you need to make yourself seem useful. No, that's not what I mean. It's just
I completely understand. I'm trying to be useful. I am. But I know I'm not well liked and I'm definitely not trusted. I wouldn't trust myself.
I trust you. I hope that's worth something.
So, yeah, Esther, you get influence over Squall, and you add 1 team to the pool for her sharing a vulnerability or weakness.
Okay. Cool.
And I think, sorry, yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Is there a place that I'm supposed to put that? Do we have a pool?
I'll just add a token to the roll for your party.
Okay.
Cool. And I think I was going to call for a 5-minute break. We can meet back up at 10 till.
Okay. Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
Great. See you then.